Every time you connect to Wi-Fi, send an email, or watch a video, you're basically stepping onto a digital battlefield. To really get a handle on cybersecurity, everything from how hackers break in to how the pros defend our systems, you have to start with the battlefield itself, the network. It's the invisible foundation for pretty much everything we do online.
This quote just nails it, right? Networking isn't just a piece of the cybersecurity puzzle, it is the board. The entire game of cybersecurity is played on it. It is where all the action happens.
So, the takeaway here is simple. If you really want to get cyber defense, you got to start with the network. So let's do it. Let's build that foundation right now.
All right, so let's start at square one. What exactly is a network? It sounds super complicated, but the main idea, it's actually pretty simple.
And that's really it. Whether it's your laptop and your phone talking to each other over your home Wi-Fi, or all the computers in a giant office building, if they're connected and they can share stuff, boom, you've got a network.
Okay, but here's where it gets interesting. It's all about scale. A LAN, a local area network, is small and contained, like your house. But a WAN, a wide area network, that connects entire cities or even countries. And the granddaddy of all WANs, the biggest one there is? Yep, the internet.
So you've got billions of devices out there. How in the world do they find each other? Well, just like a city needs street names and mailing addresses, a network needs its own system to manage all that traffic and give every single device a unique ID.
So think of a router like this. It's the traffic cop that connects your little home network to the giant highway of the internet. A switch, on the other hand, that's more like a power strip inside your house, just letting all your local devices talk to each other. And you can bet that for an attacker, getting control of either one is like hitting the jackpot. It means they control the flow of all your information.
All right, check this out. Every single device you own has two different addresses. Your IP address is kind of like your mailing address. It changes if you take your laptop from your house to a coffee shop. But the MAC address, that's a whole different beast. It's like your national ID. It's permanent, burned right into the hardware at the factory.
And right away, you can see where the security risk comes in. See, because that MAC address is supposed to be a permanent, trusted identifier, attackers came up with a clever trick called MAC spoofing. They found a way to digitally fake that address, letting them pretend to be a trusted device on the network or just to cover their tracks. Okay, so we know how devices get their identity, but how does the actual data, your emails, your photos, how does it travel from point A to point B? Well, it involves this really fascinating system of digital doors, rules, and highways.
Well, first up, we have something called ports. The easiest way to picture a port is to think of it like a numbered door on your computer, and each door is specifically for a certain type of communication. So when you browse a website, your computer uses one door, and when you check your email, it uses a totally different one. And get this, look at that number. Every single computer has over 65,000 of these potential doors. And that is exactly why one of the very first things a hacker does is something called a port scan. They're literally going down the street, digitally checking every single one of your doors to see if any of them are unlocked.
So here are a few of the big ones you'll see all the time. Port 80. That's for regular old web traffic. But the one you really want to see when you're browsing is port 443. That S in HTTPS, that's your best friend. It means your connection is locked down and encrypted. Port 22 is also huge for IT folks because it lets them securely log into machines from anywhere.
Okay, so how the data actually gets sent through those doors, that's all about rules. We call them protocols. And the two big ones are TCP and UDP. Think of TCP like sending a registered letter. It's a bit slower, but you get a confirmation that every single piece arrives safely. UDP, on the other hand, is like a radio broadcast. It's super fast, which is awesome for streaming or online gaming, but it just blasts the data out there and doesn't bother to check if you got it.
So all this stuff we've been talking about, the addresses, the ports, the protocols, it all fits neatly into this framework called the OSI model. It just breaks down the journey of your data into 7 layers, from the app you see on your screen at layer 7 all the way down to the actual electricity in the cable at layer 1. Now, for a cybersecurity pro, this is gold. Why? Because different attacks target different layers. A huge denial of service attack might hit the network layer, but a scam that steals your password, that's happening at the application layer. Understanding these layers is how you understand where you're vulnerable.
So, with all this complexity, all these addresses, open ports, public rules, it means our data is kind of just out there in the open. So what can an everyday person do to secure their connection on this massive public highway? Well, one of the most popular tools out there is the VPN.
So what is a VPN? A virtual private network. Well, it basically grabs all your internet traffic, scrambles it up with some really strong encryption, and then shoots it through a secure, private tunnel between your computer and the rest of the web.
I love this analogy. It's perfect. Instead of driving your car down a public road where anyone can see who you are and where you're going, you're in a private underground tunnel. But here's the catch, and it's a big one. The company that owns that tunnel, your VPN provider, they can see everything you're doing. So choosing when you can actually trust is absolutely critical.
Okay, so we've got the building blocks down. Now let's see how attackers take all this knowledge and use it against us. Because when an attacker looks at a network, they don't see what we see. They see a playground of potential vulnerabilities.
So here are some of the heavy hitters in the network attack world. Man in the middle is basically digital eavesdropping. Denial of service is just a brute force flood. Port scanning, we talked about that. It's like checking for unlocked doors. And packet sniffing is like intercepting and reading someone else's mail. Let's zoom in on those first two for a second.
A man-in-the-middle attack. It's pretty much what it sounds like. The attacker manages to squeeze themselves right in between you and whatever you're trying to connect to, say your bank's website. From there, they can secretly listen in, or even worse, change the information as it goes back and forth.
Then you have the denial of service attack, or DDoS. This is just a brute force slam. Basically, an attacker gets a whole army of computers to just bombard a website or a server with so much junk traffic that it gets completely overwhelmed and just crashes. It denies service to all the real users.
So let's bring it all together. What's the bottom line here? It's that networks are the absolute foundation of cybersecurity. Every single component, your router, your open ports, the protocols you use, is a potential weak spot. Understanding the long, complicated journey your data takes isn't just for techies. It's step one. It's how you even begin to think about defending it.
And all of this leaves us with a really important question. Now that you get the basics, the addresses, the doors, the rules of the road, where do you think the next big attack is going to come from? Because the better you understand this foundation, the better your chances are of seeing what's hurtling down the road.